Hi everyone, we will be talking about the Module 3 wrap-up of the virtual presentation. First off, I would like to introduce the Compromise of 1850, and it was in California state, which was a free state, and slave trades were banned in Washington, D.C., and there was a lot of um issues with this, and I would like to I'm a little bit lost here, but the quote, you guys can read it, and it's a very great quote to understand what the 1815 meant. The Kansas Nebraska Act was about the proposed from Senator Stephen Douglas, and there was many bullet points that I put out about the senators allowing to decide that slavery was a popular thing that was going on. And a quote that caught my attention was the according to the Kansas Nebraska Act of 2019 on October 16. And I'll give you guys a second just to read it. Okay. So the Dred Scott decision and the John Brown and the election of 1860. Now these two were very different. And you guys can read the bullet point while I'll read the idea of the quotes that I found. So, in this ruling, the Supreme Court stated that enslaved peoples were not citizens of the United States and therefore they could not expect any protection from the federal government or the courts. The opinion was to state that the Congress had no authorities to ban slavery from the federal territories, which was cited from National Archive. But John Brown was a little bit more different. In October of 1859, the radical abolishment of John Brown and the 18 armed men, both black and white, attacked the federal utterance in Harper Ferry, Virginia. So the outbreak of the Civil War was about the Forest Summer in the South Carolina was attacked by the Confederates. And you guys can read the last two bullet points, but I would like to connect you with you guys about the site that I found. So the American Civil War, a 4 years war, which was between in the United States and the 11 southern states that deceased from the Union and formed the Confederate of State of America. And I'll give you guys a moment to read the early mobilization and shift moment. Okay, so this is our last slide, and this one was very interesting to me, making bullet points. But I'd like to review the citation. When reviewing the history of Civil War, there are many so-called turning points that emerge. One most often look to great battles of war for these moments of contagion. I can't say that word, but when the affair of nation could go in distant different and opponent direction. Our historical memorial tend to look to Gettysburg as primary turning point of the Civil War due to the sheer size of fight. There was its immune bloodshed and suffering. Lincoln Gettysburg address several months after the battle framed the struggle there as one that determined the future course of freedom. And I like to show you guys my reference, what where I got my information from. Anyways, thank you for you guys' patience of my video, and thank you for guys' listening. Have a good one.